Good morning.
Welcome back. Welcome to
Yes.
Quarantine on Fire.
I am in the kitchen today because we are delivering food. We are making food that we have pickup coming up in 2 minutes.
Oh, really?
Obviously, I'm not doing the pickup because I'm here.
Well,
So
I am not cooking today. We just had a wonderful lunch of some tinned sardines on toast with good
yeah,
Irish butter and green salad. It was delicious.
sardines are pretty amazing right now. This is my kitchen. It's all cleaned up because we're done cooking, so it's all clean and pretty. We're back,
Very nice. Very nice.
and that's me right here.
That's you?
Yeah. So sardines are great. We already said that, but it's super good,
Yeah.
particularly with butter. Don't forget the butter.
Don't forget the butter and a little good sea salt sprinkled on top is always
Yeah,
nice.
and black
Yeah, it's
pepper.
a great thing to have in the house at a time like this because you can put a meal together pretty quickly. It's a nice snack.
You need to get
I
you need to find a way for the kids to like it. And for me, I added some olive oil and lemon until they liked it, or vinegar, or something fun. Or
Yeah.
or I make a spread with like garlic and lemon and whatever.
Yeah, maybe some capers.
Yeah. So anyway, you should really. Oh, we should. James, we should give some example of sardine thing they can do. That would be great because
Okay.
it's so easy and it's just. Sometimes people are very confused. They think it's the simple stuff are not good. Simple stuff are great. They work a
Simple stuff is great. If you
works a
buy
lot.
good ingredients, you don't have to do much to them.
Just eat it. Open the box, boom.
Yep.
Oh,
But like I said, you can enhance it with good butter and sea salt and some good bread. Some good wine helps too. I think white wine is best with sardines or
yeah.
margaritas. Margaritas are good too.
Especially if you put lemon on it. I think lemon goes better with white wine. It's a personal
Yeah.
opinion, huh, guys. Personal.
Yeah.
All right. So what is? I know we have a few questions that are cool. Finally,
I
all right.
I
And
thought this
finally,
was oh, sorry. I thought this was an interesting question. What are some techniques you use to keep your kitchen organized?
techniques.
Uh,
We talked about that before. It's basically mise en place. It's organizing yourself, and I would say, Frode, look,
mayonnaise. Well, I also think
mayonnaise.
I think there's the organization of the kitchen itself. In other words, like make sure that everything has a place.
Yeah.
So that you know where things are, you know where things go when they've been cleaned.
One thing very important in the kitchen is whenever you pick something up from that place, you have to put it exactly back the same way.
Put
And
it
that,
back.
because in the restaurant, everybody knows where things are, but you can't move them because it's a waste of time. Because people get very angry. Chefs get angry.
We did a whole thing on kitchen rules once in our old podcast. If you open it, close it. If you take it, put it back. If
If you
you
if you find it empty, either put stuff in there or discard it. Don't put it back empty in the fridge
right,
or in
right.
shelves. Those basic stuff. It's crazy. Huh?
I know. When the kids were still living here, I would find a carton of milk in the fridge that was completely empty, not a drop in it. I just think, how could you not know this was empty?
That's
Well,
what the garbage is.
I have, speaking from the perspective of a home cook, I also think it's important. One of the things I like to do when I cook is to clean as I go.
Yeah.
So that when you're done, you don't have this huge mess to face, So if something's cooking and I don't have to deal with it immediately, I go over and clean up whatever I've just been using, then go back to the stove and then back and forth. That's very important, I think.
It's a great tip, James, because actually that works really well. Because when you're done entirely, and then you're willing to do it again because the kitchen is clean.
Right, right.
So true.
Yeah.
Very good.
Organized kitchen. The answer is yes.
Organized kitchen and keep that kitchen clean. I know sometimes it's difficult to understand, but I would say most bacteria comes from water. So keep that kitchen dry. And
Right.
those corners that are wet and a little bit black. So the black in a kitchen is the worst thing you can do. You have to get rid of that black because it could be several things, but one of them it could be a black mold, and that is very dangerous because black mold will defend the surrounding, will not go away like this, and it will make you sick.
Yeah.
And that just comes from water and not cleaning your kitchen enough.
A clean kitchen is a happy kitchen. So
So those are that's it, and having lots of bowls, little bowls, okay, to put stuff in,
lots of bowls. Lots of bowls.
and don't buy too many gadgets.
Yeah. Don't fill your drawers with gas.
So you'd have like overwhelmed with tools, only a few tools.
Save your money and buy good cookware.
Yeah.
So, what's the best advice you've ever had from another chef? Is there anything you've learned from working with other chefs? Anybody,
Yeah.
any cooks?
So I think the first rule in the kitchen is stay away from the chef. Don't be in his legs. Like really, at the beginning, when you start in a restaurant, you want to stay away. I know they always say, "Hey, ask whatever question you want." That's
They don't mean it.
that is not true at all. You have to ask the question that makes sense. If a question sounds really stupid, don't ask it. Ask someone else. Ask a lower grade or go online. Figure it out because you don't want to sound stupid too many times.
Right.
One,
Ask it in your head first before you verbalize it.
exactly. That's a big thing. And I learned how to. The biggest thing in the kitchen in a restaurant is learn how to not panic when something happens. Because if you don't panic, you'll solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Always, always, always.
I
Yes.
think that's good
Good
advice for
one.
life.
Good one. Yes, chef.
Yes,
By
chef.
the way, I am not a yes chef guy. Okay, I don't care. But yes, it is important in the kitchen because it confirms that you got the order. That's why you say yes, chef. And a lot of time in kitchen, when you order something, that whoever is responsible for the dish is going to repeat exactly the dish, so the chef knows it's captured. Because a
Right.
lot of time they don't work with tickets or hand; it's all by memory. So if the chef, which is an expediter, stay at the pass, calls for a steak or whatever, he's going to call his chef. He says, send fire the steak, whatever. And the guy who's responsible is going to say, fire the steak for everything. And then the chef knows it's fired. The guy knows it's fired. And then after a couple of minutes, the steak is coming.
Yeah, you should never assume that the chef can hear your head rattling when you nod it.
So this is fun. Yeah, expediters are really cool. I don't know if you know what an expediter is, but it's the guy who stayed at the pass, and it's a lot of time it's the executive chef, or it's someone called a expediter, and all he does, he calls tickets when there's tickets coming out of the printer. When the tickets are, he calls, keep that list, and he calls on and he calls the waiter and he distributes the food, so there's no mistakes, and he checks all the plate one by one.
Yeah, he's the last person, he or she is the last person to look at that dish too. So they make sure that it's been wiped properly, that everything's on it that's supposed to be on it. I've had dishes, even at Cesar, we don't have an expediter. We do sometimes. The chef on shift will act as expediter sometimes when it's really busy and orders are really backing
Yes,
up.
seen that,
And
yeah.
he'll be over there and he'll be directing traffic. But many times when it's been slower and we don't have an expediter, and I've gone to get dishes and I look and there's some major ingredient missing from the plate, and because it's a new guy or something. And
So in a kitchen that busy like Cesar, just to give you an idea, we are making fun of how many mojitos we used to make. Remember, like
right.
you have to understand that kitchen dimension of the kitchen, James, it's like 20. What is that? 20, 30, 25,000, 25 square foot.
It's probably it's probably
100. I'm sorry, it's 100.
not even maybe maybe
Okay.
maybe
In
100
that
feet.
In that kitchen, they used to pull out food for 400 covers on
Yeah,
Saturdays and Fridays.
that's right.
Insane. So that kitchen has to be super organized. It's tiny, but man, it's like, so to get to that level, you need to prep a lot in the morning.
Right. That's when a lot of the action is during the day when the cooks are in there early in the morning, chopping, making sauces, getting everything. Yes, the
So the,
server is responsible as well.
so the server is responsible when you don't have an expediter. Yes, absolutely. When the expediter is here, that's his job. The waiter should just worry about taking the plates and not worry about it. But yes, Michael, exactly, you're right. And I
And
hate to say that.
the
You're right.
server should know. The server should know what each plate is supposed to look like. So if
Right.
something, if the chicken is missing from the roast chicken, that's a good thing to know.
Oh my god. Yeah, right. Oh shit.
Well, I've learned a lot from watching chefs. I
Yeah.
try not to question them too much, but I have spent a lot of time. I've known a lot of chefs, and I've spent a lot of time working with them in various ways, and I always learn a lot. I always learn new techniques. It's how I learned to use a knife was watching chefs. I learned to little tricks for preparing things. It's always been good to me. I used to do a lot of stuff
Yeah.
here in New York. We used to do
But
benefits there, and we'd cook dinners, and I'd always be
right.
cooking with some chef. And
So one thing that is interesting when you start in a restaurant, when you start like when you're the newbie, you're gonna get a lot of shit from people.
yeah,
And you have to expect it. It's kind of the way it is, and you should not take it too personally because as long as it's not mean and violent and too dangerous. And also in a restaurant in my days, you have to defend yourself. You have to be able to show that you're not going to be let drowned up. So that's just the name of the game. You have to show your teeth it's on you and make your way in.
yeah,
Not,
you have to be thick-skinned. You can't curl up in a ball and cry every time somebody yells at you because it's going to happen. Because you're going to make mistakes when you're new.
right.
Not that I ever would, but
So I learned a lot of stuff from the chef after I was integrated. When I started, I didn't learn anything because they were just messing with me. Not very long because I was pretty serious and pretty good at what I was doing. So they didn't mess me with me too much because I was already a valued staff pretty fast every time I got work somewhere. So the owner always kind of like, make sure that I got my shifts the way I wanted, my schedule that I wanted because I could really, really pump some good numbers.
mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there's always a certain amount of sort of testing the newbies in a kitchen,
Yeah.
in any kind of industry. I
We,
used to be in the theater, and we had in the lights in a theater, you have these filters that you put in the light, in the front of the light, and they're different colors.
right.
And they, make the stage different colors. So when there was some new guy in the tech department, it was always fun to say, "Go wash the filters. Go wash the filters. Just rinse those off." And of course, if you do that, they just dissolve, and the person would be freaking out because they're just.
But the thing is, it has to be mean, right?
Well, they didn't do it twice. That's for sure.
In a restaurant, one of the tests you do actually to see if those people know how to work. Those jokes are born from the fact that you want to see if people have a clue, because a lot of people put any type of resume and they come here and they have no idea what to do. So one of the first things we do, and that's in a lot of kitchen, not today because of the lawsuits and stuff, but what we used to do is we used to give a wet towel to that commie chef or whatever and say, go grab that pot of water and bring it over there.
Right.
Any chef will know that you don't bring a wet towel, but if that idiot goes and do that, there's no need to hire him. And I was, and that is true. In my bar in Paris, I had a huge clientele. So in the weekend, I had a Tex-Mex restaurant in Paris, one of the hottest places in Paris, and we had about 500 people a day on weekends. That's where 4 days was working with the chef there. Between 400 and 500 people a day to feed. This is restaurant and bar. And I had a middle place where I would do in tapas, and my waiters in this room had to be able to carry trays of drinks because it was a huge bar. I had 3 bars, and they were pumping. And when I was hiring them, what I would do, I would get them to carry a tray and come right in the middle and say, "Hey, what time is it?" And nothing happened until one guy literally went like this. I'm like, and he's like, "Oh my god, okay, you can't work here. I'm sorry, man."
So what time was it?
No, because you have automatism when you wait enough that you don't, that hand is not moving forever until the tray goes to the table. You do things in the kitchen the same way, and that shows what you can do or not. So it was a joke, but
It's the kind of job that you really, it's hard to lie on your resume about your experience. If you really have no experience in the kitchen, it's going to show 2 minutes. So,
or in the room, a waiter or bartender who doesn't know what to do. That's like really funny.
it's not like being the CEO of a big corporation. You could fake that for years, but
I guess I don't know.
you work in a kitchen, they're going to know whether you know what you're
So
doing.
we kind of distance from that question. What did I learn about all the cool tips and tricks? So once you're integrated in the kitchen, I mean, I'm talking for all the cooks out there, is talk little and watch a lot.
Yep.
Look at what's happening, because you learn immensely from all those chefs. You learn by just looking at it, the way they hold their knife, the way they put their stuff away, the way they handle the pan, their rhythm. And a lot of things, a lot of the chefs have automatism they do all the time the same way, which is pretty cool. I don't. I'm kind of like all over the place, but to be a good chef, you need to be very, very structured. So those are good things I've learned. I didn't apply them to me, but I learned them.
Yeah. And whenever I've been working in a kitchen, I've never had a chef sit there and explain things to me, but I've learned just by watching them do it. I've watched them cut something and I go, oh, so that's how you do it. Oh, okay. That's how you cut your finger.
Training is pretty new, huh? In the kitchen in the old days, there was no training.
Yeah.
You can do it, you do it. Like there's no.
Well, but that's why they started you. You started by peeling potatoes in the back room. I mean, that's all they would let you do because they knew you couldn't.
If you take a job, you say you're a cook and you know how to do this, there's no training. You come the day of the work and you go to work and that's it.
Right.
That's it. It's like, because in France, most restaurants are very basic. It's steak and green beans or French fries, sausages, pate that's made before. The salads are pretty simple. In a small restaurant, the food is pretty simple. There's no. You need to know how to do steak and green beans and stuff, like basic stuff. Mayonnaise.
Right.
Parmentier, potatoes, vegetables. You need to do all this. And if you don't know, like, you're like, oh. I've looked at a lot of jobs when I never did that kitchen, and I figure it out, man. It's hard the first few days. You just focus.
You either die or get better. They either kill you or you learn and you get better.
I mean, I've worked in many places without knowing nothing. One of the main biggest job I took, remember the limousine time?
Mm-hmm.
I got that job as a limousine driver. And I got it because the guy said he would train me for the weekend. And I said, I can drive, it's fine. But he would train me the whole weekend so I could learn how to drive. The limousine is different, right? It's a big car. And I go to my training at 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. on Friday, which is the beginning of the whole crazy weekend. As a limousine driver, you work literally from 3 p.m. to Sunday. I would say Sunday between 8 p.m. and maybe sometime Monday morning. But average Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. So that's nonstop. This is no break. So you sleep during the week. But so I'd go for my training, and of course I come to the training, and the driver just got fired because he took too much coke and he could not drive. And the guy is like, he turns on me around and he's like, "You've done that before, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he gave me the key. He says, "Go, that's the parking lot downstairs. You get the I got the smaller car to start with, which is still a huge Cadillac that was 3 times the size of my car, and that was the small one because he didn't know, and I had to drive that the whole weekend taking order, going places I had no idea where to go, learning the Thomas guide as I was driving. It was, but I did it.
Yeah.
I did it, and I figured out. And the worst thing was I had to get gas. That was insane to figure out where the thing was, the hole. I couldn't find the hole. And there was no internet then. You can't go and Google, yeah, where is my goddamn gas tank? Someone stole my gas tank.
That's happened to me before with rental cars, where I just like, oh my God, where is the gas tank? I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's sort of under here, but where's the hole?
So anyway, so that's one thing you can do without learning. You just go for it, and it's true, it works. Huh? When you have the wheel and you kind of like not too stupid, kind of think a little bit.
That's been the story of my whole career.
Not thinking.
Not knowing what I was doing, but just somehow talking my way into it.
You learn as you go.
Yeah.
Learn as you go.
When I first started writing for a magazine, I had never written professionally before. I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, yeah, right.
I had an article about this, so I said,
That's
all
great.
right.
Crazy, huh?
And they liked it. So yeah.
Good.
So
this is answer yes. You can always learn a lot from chefs. And when you look on the food channel, some of the chefs are really, really fun to watch.
yeah.
I know most people don't even do the recipes, but it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch.
I like to watch the ones that are really chefs, the ones that really know, the ones that can't cook any better than me. I don't really.
That's one of the reasons, and this is not one of the reasons here at Kitchen on Fire, when I need something with responsibility, I'm going to go with a little bit older chefs. You need experience, man.
Yeah.
It's like food is long to learn. You develop a sensitivity. It's not like learning techniques. You have a feel for things, and that means talking to your coworkers and making sure you don't give them tasks that are impossible to do and stuff like that. So being a chef, and it's important. You need to know what's possible, what is not possible, what to expect from people and stuff. That takes years. It takes experiment. That means you have been a dishwasher. That means you have been a waiter. You've been a bartender. You have delivered. You've done catering. You've done all this. Okay, now you can manage a kitchen, maybe.
Yeah.
Or restaurant.
So I have one more question.
Yes.
Well, I have hundreds of questions, but I have one more question for today. And that's an interesting question. A student asked, if you could go to pick a foreign country that you could go live in and master its cuisine, what country would you choose?
Yeah, so I thought about that, and I think I would go to Morocco.
Oh, that'd be good. I love Morocco.
Because I know France already. I mean, I'm from France, so I know how to cook that food. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I don't do fancy food. I'm not very good at that.
Yeah.
Miss Richard, yes. Richard was. So James, you want to talk about Cesar? That's a good one.
Yeah, Richard was one of the original founders of Cesar, and he passed away.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
Recently.
Well, it was just before Christmas, wasn't it? It was.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Things have been a little crazy lately for everyone, but
we miss him all a lot, and
we miss him too.
So back to the question, I would probably choose Canada. I want to go and learn how they make those French fries with the gravy.
Oh, Quebec.
No, I would choose Canada. I would choose Mexico.
Oh yeah.
I would go to Mexico City or Oaxaca or somewhere and.
Well, that would be my anywhere in Latin America.
Yeah. I love Mexican food so much.
It's true. So beautiful.
And I love tequila so much.
And it loves you too. I know that.
Yes.
So, hey, James, what was the question? I forgot about it.
It was if you could move to a foreign country and master the cuisine.
So Morocco. I've been to Morocco many times. maybe 3 times, I think, and Tunisia a lot because we have family there. But in Morocco, I have a lot of friends in the food business, and I was blown away by the quality of the food.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Oaxaca. Yeah.
I've been to Morocco once and I've been to Tunisia once. In both places, I was wowed by the food. The use of spices was the most striking thing.
Spices, fresh food, cooked really long, a lot of time, like those lamb they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever seen in Morocco. My friend was the caterer of the king. Which king was that? Anyway, 20 years ago. So he was his caterer. And the king would travel around Marrakesh or wherever he was. And he has a court with him of people, right? All the servants and the family and whatever. And that court is about 2,000 people. And when they go for a trip in the desert for fun, my friend who's the caterer and make the food goes the day before. They go 100 kilometers because they do, no, it's 20 kilometers or 10 kilometers, whatever the little trip is per day. Sometimes they do 3 days. They go to that destination, they mount the whole village, and they dig those holes in the hole.
Uh-huh.
Zero and how do you call the burnt wood?
They make charcoal and ashes.
Yes. And they put the whole lamb in the
yeah.
They do that for 100 holes, and they mount a kitchen to do the chicken and the couscous and all the stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then people arrive, they party, they have fun and stuff like this. And my friend, comment il s'appelle? Okay, my memory is gone.
So would he go on then?
He would do, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning, they have to leave. Half of the camp leaves, the chefs and the cooks and everything, to go start the kitchen over there. Then when the people wake up, they take the rest of the tents. They bring it to the next point, but the kitchen is already there. And they already started to cook. It's crazy stuff.
In Tunisia, I had a lunch in an olive grove, and they had a fire going in a hole, and they would take these little breads and they'd put olive oil in their hand and they'd pat it and they'd throw it right on the coals, and then they'd stand over it and bury it. And it would just be this little oven, and about 10 minutes later, they would dig the bread out, shake the sand off, and it came right off. And they were delicious. And then we'd pour olive oil on them and salt and just eat them. Good stuff. But I'd never seen anybody cook in sand like that before. It was remarkable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Now that's the way I cook at home. We have a big sandbox out back. That's the only way I cook.
Sand is great. It keeps a really good temperature. You can cook in the ground really well.
Yeah.
In Hawaii, where they put the pig at night and then the day after it's all cooked up.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. With the residual heat, like they. Great, huh?
And again, they bury it, I think. Yeah. Good stuff. Good all stuff.
Right. Cool, man.
I would go to Mexico. I would master Mexican cuisine if I could. I would go down. I mean, you don't have to go to Mexico to learn how to cook Mexican food, but
can come to Kitchen on Fire when we reopen.
Yeah, I would just like to live in Mexico.
Yeah. So before we go,
yes,
I completely forgot to tell you that we have food that we're making once a week. It's a whole meal. It's really good, super food. We make really clean food, as everybody can imagine. So that's what we do right now until we can go back to our classes. I have a few classes online also that I'm doing. Just posted some. So that's all we can do now for the next month, I think. And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully things will start to open up in another month.
It will be. It will.
I'm just starving. I can't wait till the restaurant's open. I'm going to lose a lot of weight by the time it opens up again.
Okay, so guys, thank you. I need to go back to work.
Thanks for joining us.
Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Everyone be safe. Ciao.
Yes, yes, yes.